The stock of the day is brought to you by IG, Australia's #1 CFD provider. Trade over 17,000 markets with extended trading hours on key US shares and competitive spreads, all on an award-winning platform. Get started at IG.com.
And the stock of the day is HMC Capital. So it has entered into agreements to acquire Neoen's Victorian portfolio. So it is a portfolio of renewable generation and storage, and the price they'll pay is $950 million. Now, HMC Capital says that it is a rare opportunity, and it includes operational and development assets. The acquisition, it says, will increase its assets under management to $19 billion, and the share price is up close to 2% in today's session so far, of course, just past noon here in Sydney. So my guests here, Mark Gardner from MPC Markets, Rudi Filapek-Vandyck from FNArena. Look, guys, there's a lot going on with HMC Capital right now.
You can say that.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of this purchase of assets?
Well, there was a saying in the market that when the ducks are quacking, you need to feed them. I think HMC is probably one of the examples on the ASX. They know what the ducks want, and they will feed it to them.
Okay.
Look at that share price. I mean, it's easy to draw a comparison with the .com craze when mining stocks that were going nowhere, they put .com behind their name, and they had a share price jump like that all of a sudden. I think in recent times we have seen some companies adding AI to their name, and the same thing happens. I have a suspicion that most of that rally there is data centers, and that's obviously one of the projects there. They also acquire.
And you're referencing
assets.
that Digico, which will be spun off into a separate REIT.
Yeah, and if you lend your ear to the industry, then not all the assets that go in there are of
high quality.
High quality, of world-class quality. So I would be a little bit more cautious here. I mean, personally, I don't like to join others when the herd is moving into one direction anyway, because I like to be more considered, and I like my shares they don't have to rally every day.
So HMC buy, hold or sell?
I would take profits here.
That is a sell. That's a trim at the very best. It's very interesting because I was reading some analysis earlier today about this insatiable need for energy being one of the biggest thematics coming through for the year to come. We all know why, so we don't have to go into that too much, but that appears to be, part of the HMC Capital, thematic for their strategy.
Yeah, and listening to Rudi just then, I basically sort of fell into the trap as well. I looked at it and just went, wow, they're ticking all the thematic boxes, aren't they, basically? And but of course, this is going to be energy transition wise, and they've sort of bundled up into data centers as well, I suppose. So, which that thematic's now starting to overlap, and I would probably be going for more the resource section at this point in time. I think, the raw materials that they need to basically build these data centers. I don't think the data centers, they're going to be a lot of debt, and they're not going to be receiving a hell of a lot of revenue until later down the track. But obviously this infrastructure's got to be built. So happy with the picks and shovels of that data center play at the moment. This is too high for me here at the moment, because I think this will be a bumpy ride. If we don't start to see, there was really nice signs from Salesforce this morning saying that the uptake of some of their AI agents was really good, and they're starting to monetize, which they were quite dour on probably 6 months ago. So, but I think even the AI thematic, it's that monetization, it's really exciting at the moment, but if they don't get the monetization, there might be a pullback in the data centers. And as we saw with the energy transition thematic, basically we had as soon as the cost of living came in, it was like, oh yeah, coal's fine. So, I think this will, I don't think you need to be buying at peaks up here. I think you'll get another opportunity at some stage. If they execute, and not just talk the talk, then it should be a pretty good long-term investment. But I think in something like this, you'll definitely get another opportunity at some stage because both thematics will be patchy. They're not established yet, and governments keep changing things, and the US government's obviously had a fairly significant change as well. So
to Rudi's point, if you already owned this stock, would you be taking some profits?
I'd be trimming if I owned it. I'd probably be looking back at that, around that sort of 850 mark again to potentially be buying back in, but 850 to 950 sort of area. But I think this is definitely a stock that will give you another chance, and they're spending a fair bit of money at the moment. So I think there'll be a couple of disappointing results at stages across the next couple of years before. But long term, I think they're in the right areas.
Mm-hmm. Got it. All right. Well, that was the stock of the day. HMC Capital. Both of my guests would be taking a bit of profits and not buying in today.
The stock of the day was brought to you by IG. Trade over 12,000 shares and ETFs, including major tech giants with extended hours on an award-winning platform. Get started at ig.com.